Hello, welcome to my channel StuckFiles. Today we will discuss about why it sucks to be a bench warmer. They sit quietly at the end of the bench and cameras on them and highlight reels and love from the fans. And yet they bleed, grind, and sweat just like everyone else. They're the last ones in and the first ones forgotten about their teammates in name, but spectators in reality. And despite being on the team, it barely feels like they're even part of the game. Welcome to the life of a bench warmer, the loneliest place in basketball. You see, in the world of pro hoops, the glory always goes to the stars. The high-flying dunkers, the clutch shooters, the stat stuffers. But what about the guy who claps from the sidelines, who never gets called unless it's garbage time, whose jersey is always clean and soul increasingly worn? It's not laziness. It's not lack of talent, but it's the cruel structure of the game, where there's only room for 5 on the court and the rest sit and wait. This video is not about the LeBrons, the Stephs, or the Giannis's. It's about the players you never notice, the ones whose careers are made of patience, pain, and invisibility to SO. If you've ever wondered what it's really like to warm the bench, stick around. Because this isn't just about missed minutes, it's about missed identities. Section 1. The silent grind behind the spotlight. Being a bench warmer isn't easy. In fact, it's brutal in ways most fans never see. Every morning, they show up, they train, they lift, they hustle just like the starters in scrimmages. They play the role of opponents, mimicking Luka one day, Curry the next. They're human scouting reports, shooting with no promise of game time, running plays they'll never execute in front of a crowd. Yet despite the daily grind, they get zero recognition and glory to endorsements. Sometimes not even a nod from the coach. And you know what the hardest part is? They still have to stay ready, just in case they're called into the game at a moment's notice. Imagine training every single day, knowing you might not even touch the court for weeks. You become your team's best insurance policy, used only when injuries pile up or a blowout makes you relevant again. Worse, there's an unspoken hierarchy that you're on the roster, but at the bottom. The pecking order isn't official, but you feel it in every drill, every timeout, every half-hearted high five . And when your team loses, you feel responsible. Even though you didn't even play it, it's the kind of emotional toll that stacks up day after day, month after month. And while the media spins stories about chemistry and culture, you're living a life of quiet disconnection, right in the middle of the team huddle. Section 2, you're good, just not good enough. Here's the harsh truth. Most bench warmers aren't bad players. They're often the best players in their hometowns. High school legends, college stars, the alphas of their past lives. But in the NBA, everyone was that guy somewhere. Now you're just another name on the depth chart that a ghost in a jersey. Coaches respect you, but they don't trust you. And in a league where trust is earned in seconds and lost in milliseconds, your shot is never guaranteed. You might get 5 minutes. You miss a rotation? Gone. You fumble a pass? Gone. You take a shot that wasn't yours to take? Gone for good. That you're constantly playing with a tight leash. No freedom. No freedom. No confidence. The game becomes mental torture. You second guess every decision that you're not playing to win. You're playing not to mess up. And that's a dangerous headspace for any athlete. Even worse, your teammates feel it too. They'll root for you publicly, sure. But deep down, they know you're replaceable, that you're not competing against the other team. You're competing against your own teammates for relevance. Every practice becomes a silent audition. Every drill is a performance review. Every mistake is a vote against your future. And the worst part, you're not even allowed to complain because you're living the dream, right? You're in the league, you're getting paid. You should be grateful. But here's the truth no one says out loud. Being on the roster doesn't mean you're in the game. And for a bench warmer, that thin line between professional athlete and professional spectator becomes your daily reality. Section 3. The invisible workload. From the outside, being a bench warmer looks like a vacation. Fans assume you're chilling and no pressure. No injuries. No expectations. But that's a lie, because the grind never stops. Even when the lights aren't on you, you're still at every practice, running every drill, lifting every weight, watching every film session that you're expected to stay in shape, keep game ready, and perform like you've been starting all season. Even if you haven't played a real minute in weeks, that you're the punching bag in scrimmages, the test dummy for defensive sets, the guy getting dunked on in warm-ups, so the starters look good that year, simulating the opposing team's best player, even though no one's simulating you. And when you do get your 60 seconds of floor time, no excuses. You miss that corner three, rusty. You get blown by on defense, out of rhythm. You trip up the offense, not focused. There's no grace for inconsistency when you barely exist. And don't forget the extra hours, while stars are doing post-game interviews and walking into the tunnel with designer drip. You're in the cold tub, staying loose, just in case that you're putting in work with the assistants, shooting after everyone leaves, running wind sprints when nobody's watching. But the public never sees this. They only see DMP next to your name in the box score. They only remember when you finally play and screw up that so what. Happens. You carry all the workload with none of the reward and no highlights. No recognition. Just invisible sweat, invisible minutes, and invisible worth. And eventually, that invisibility creeps into your mind. You start asking yourself, am I really even part of this team? Because when effort doesn't equal opportunity, motivation becomes a daily war. And most bench warmers fight that battle alone. Section 4. When fans turn into critics. Being a bench warmer isn't just about being overlooked by coaches. It's about being dismissed by fans too. You know those sideline celebrations you try to bring? The towel waves, the claps, the fist pumps? Yeah, to the crowd, that's comedy. You become a meme, not a member of the team, that a punchline for commentators. Background noise for the broadcast. Every time the camera cuts to you, it's never about your hustle. It's about your hairstyle, your outfit, or how hard you're cheering. And when you do get a chance to play, you're walking into a trap. Fans don't see a guy trying to find rhythm. They see a guy who's had plenty of time to be ready. Because in their eyes, bench warmers aren't people. They're projects that you're either that dude who's wasting a roster spot or that potential breakout star who's just not showing it. There's no in between. You make one mistake. That's why he doesn't play. You have a good stretch. Why doesn't the coach use him more? Either way, your identity gets shaped by 15 seconds of performance, not by months of unseen grind. And in the era of social media, good luck escaping that. Every air ball becomes a TikTok. Every missed layup a meme. Every awkward moment a gift that you're not just playing under pressure. You're playing under public surveillance. And even when you're not playing, the noise is there. Fans dissect bench reactions like it's game film. Did you see him not stand up when the starter hit a three? Looks like bad body language. Trade him. Cut him. Useless. No one wonders if you're tired or mentally fried or just human.to them. You're not a player. You're a symbol of everything wrong with the team. And here's the worst part. You can't say anything back because the moment a bench warmer claps back at critics, the headlines write themselves. Entitled. Immature. Can't handle the pressure. So you swallow it. Smile on the bench. Clap through the pain. Nod through the nonsense. Because in this game, silence is survival. Section 5. The toll you take home. Being a bench warmer doesn't end when the buzzer sounds out. IT follows you home. You shower with the team, ride the bus, get the same gear, but deep down, you feel separate. Not because anyone says it, but because the minutes say it. And in this game, minutes of respect, you replay the night in your head. Did I clap enough? Did I look engaged? Did the coach notice me? You scroll your phone in silence. Seeing your name pop up in forums, on X, Twitter, YouTube comments. Why is he even on the team? Dude gets paid to sit. He's living the dream. just chilling courtside. They don't see you staying after practice, or the early mornings you arrive before the lights even turn on, or the mental chess you play to stay ready when no one believes you ever will be. And it eats at you. You see players around the league get their shot, guys you played with in college, guys you used to cook in high school tournaments, and you start asking questions. Am I not good enough? Is it too late? Do I need to be more selfish or less visible? You begin to lose yourself, not just in the game, but in the waiting, because there's no map in guaranteed breakout moment, in red flashing sign that says, this is your time. There's just you and the bench. Some players have talked about how sitting for too long messed with their confidence, how it affected their sleep, how it damaged their relationships, even their mental health. They started questioning their worth as people, not just as players, because when your identity is tied to your performance and your performance is locked in a cage, you begin to feel worthless. That's what makes bench warming so brutal. Not the minutes, not the memes, not even the money, but the quiet erosion of belief, the slow drip of doubt that turns ambition into anxiety. And unless you have a rock-solid support system, unless you really love this game beyond the spotlight, you'll burn out long before you ever get your moment. As we deeply discussed everything in all 5 sections. So next time you laugh at the guy clapping on a bench, remember this: he sacrificed everything for the game. And right now, he's giving everything just for a chance to belong. Because being a bench warmer isn't about laziness, that it's not about riding coattails. It's about surviving in the shadows of greatness while chasing your own light. You may never hear their name in a highlight, but every time they show up, every time they lift a teammate, push in practice, or stay ready in silence, that's real. Love for the game does, don't just celebrate the starters. Look deeper, because sometimes the hardest fight in basketball is just to get on the floor. This is StuckFiles, brutally honest, painfully real, and always about the truth behind the jersey. Direct hit like. Share. Subscribe. We drop heat every week. Until next time, stay hungry. Stay watching.